What's up, guys? I missed you so much. It hurts sometimes.
You're so full of shit. You left LA. You're hanging out with Daniel right now. Daniel could have ran over to your house, to your apartment. I watched the first
YouTube video, and I really didn't like my hair, so I'm just going to have to let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
This is everyone's first reaction when their video hits YouTube. They're like, we got a new stylist. Don't like it. Like, we're hiring makeup. Every single person is really like, we got to change. New, better outfits. Yeah, the reality of it, I think,
I was excited that it happened. Don't get me wrong, but I was obsessing about my hair, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to watch these. I'm too neurotic and vain to be watching.
I'm the same way.
I'm really nervous for these motherfuckers to see the old shit. When that hits the
because
air,
then we didn't
and they see how many times I wear that damn sweatshirt.
Well, then we didn't do any trying then. I mean, there wasn't any knowledge that those were going to be on the interweb, so we didn't put any effort into like at least putting on a nice shirt.
Like Zeto.
Yeah.
I at least am wearing t-shirts now. I said, you know what? I'm going to step up my game a little bit. No more motherfucking Mickey Mouse sweatshirts.
I love that sweatshirt. I think the audience should experience
it'll make an appearance here and there and stuff like that. But I got to wear t-shirts. And then I started thinking, do I need to cut my hair? Is that what's really the fuck is going on?
You look great. By the way, our new T-Mobile ad is running, and I hear it's.
I've yet to see it.
You haven't seen it? I hear it's doing really well. I heard from the big McGillis.
What'd they say?
They said that.
Tell me everything I want to know.
Just that people really like it. They got a great response from it. All you need to worry about is whether people like it enough for them to keep hiring us to do more. And I feel like that's happening.
Well.
Because it's fun. And this one's super silly. If you haven't seen this one, there's a moment where Donald's painting, and the joke is that he's an amazing painter, and he's painted me as a minotaur or a centaur. Yeah. What's the difference?
Horse legs, a centaur.
Yeah, I'm a horse body with a torso, and I'm playing the pan flute.
What's a minotaur?
What's a minotaur?
Minotaur. That's like I feel like it's like bull, mostly. No? Yeah, it's like a bull, but it's like bull legs, human torso, and then bull head.
Well, I'm a centaur.
I think you're right.
And it's a beautiful painting
you are correct.
That somebody made.
What the hell is this dude in motherfucking... Sorry, I hate to do this. What is he in Narnia then?
Oh, you're talking about like a...
Are you talking about the goat guy?
Like deer. He has like goat and deer
he's
legs.
He's a goat boy.
That's a fawn. That's a fawn.
Goat boy.
It's a fawn.
Anyway,
guys.
So listen, we made the ad, right?
That's a fawn?
We made the ad, and
yes.
I forgot if I brought this up. If I did, I'm sorry. But I put the painting. They gave me the painting, and I said to myself, I'm only going to put this on my mantelpiece for a little while as a joke. But now it's been living there for a while, and it's pretty glorious.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they paint the pan flute
they put
in
the pan
for
flute.
you?
I'm playing the pan flute.
I love it. I love it.
It's amazing.
I love that we have a commercial on television still,
nice.
man. It's
nice.
A freaking cool
nice,
thing,
Donald.
man.
It's Donald, right?
If people haven't seen it, or if they're international, what's happening in the commercial?
I'm sure they can look on the YouTube.
Well, even if you're international,
no, you can look.
Even if you're international, you can VPN.
Well, no, you just go on the YouTube. In the commercial is it's talking about how you can get the Wi-Fi anywhere. There's these expanders now, and you can get it like in your backyard. You can get it in your man cave, in your garage. Like it expands the home Wi-Fi to every nook and cranny.
It's like another dead spot is gone.
And we sing it to the tune of what's the song, Donald? Holiday Road. From Vacation.
We love home internet from T-Mobile.
But anyway, in one of the sketches, Donald is painting, and actually, there was a funny story. Can we tell them the puppet story about how your puppet showed up purple?
We should tell that story. The guy who made the puppet rushed and was doing it in like a
fluorescent lighting
room had fluorescent lights in it, and so he built Zach. I guess he doesn't have a problem making foam the color of white people's skin. Yeah, I guess. But when it comes to black people,
the fluorescent light. Wait. In his defense, this was funny. It was funny though. In his defense, it was a last minute thing. Like, oh, we want them to be taking a ventriloquist lesson online. It'll be funny if they have puppets that look like themselves. So, in Hollywood.
If they have puppet, but not ventriloquist puppets, more like Muppet puppets.
Yeah, but still a ventriloquist that you're doing this with your hand thing.
Yeah, but the ventriloquist thing is like a dummy where the mouth just opens up and closes like that.
Like Muppet puppets. Yeah. And
yes,
in Hollywood, if you got the money, someone who makes anything will stay up all night and make it for you. And this guy did that, and it was amazing what he turned out in 24 hours. But because he had made it, he explained later under fluorescent lights, he got Donald's skin tone totally wrong. So when it showed up,
well, he didn't get your skin tone even close to wrong, though. Like, your skin tone was like
anyway,
perfect.
Donald was purple. And and we were like, yo, you can't air this. Like, you guys gotta like skin correct. And everyone was like, don't worry. In post-production, we'll make him the exact beautiful brown skin that Donald has. And indeed they did. But no one will ever see purple Donald with me. And it was funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. I love that.
You want to know what's fucked up? It was eggplant purple, too.
Yeah, like the eggplant emoji.
Oh, boy.
It goes deep, Joel.
How's life?
It goes deep.
How's life, everybody? What's going on? What have you been doing? What have you been up to?
So I went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine.
Again, second time. You really liked it.
2 times. I did. And I liked it better the second time than I did the first time.
Joelle, have you been yet?
Oh, yeah. I saw it.
She has her feelings. Yeah.
I saw it.
She doesn't like it.
I do have my feelings.
Yeah, Joelle has her feelings. Let her feel her feelings, Donald. Okay, you saw it the second time. It's an important movie to you. You really like it.
It's not an important movie to me, but I enjoyed the violence. I'm not going to lie.
Did you bring your children to see said violence?
They have also seen said violence.
Okay, are you okay with showing your kids all that gore? I guess yes.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. It's hard to hide any of the shit anyway, because it's unless I keep them on like Radio Disney or some shit like that. I mean, it's impossible.
Wait, remind us how old your kids are.
My kids are 11 and 9.
This seems reasonable to me.
Yeah.
I was watching equally violent films at that age.
Dude, I was watching way worse. I was watching sex scenes when I was their age and stuff like that.
Saw,
let's keep it 100.
Did your mom not lean across you to try to shield your eyes?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I was watching the cable with the where
Do you remember the first? What was the first pair of boobs you saw in the movie? Do you remember?
The first pair of boobs. It was DC Cab. Wait, maybe it was DC Cab.
It was
I don't
Stripes
know.
For me.
Kate Winslet in Titanic.
The mud wrestling scene in Stripes. That was the first time I saw
Stripes.
It was the shower scene in Porky's, which was a peeping Tom scene.
Yeah. Well,
Kate Winslet in Titanic was great.
Kate Winslet in Titanic was the first time you saw boobies?
That's a very tame.
I was 10.
Oh my God, Donald, doesn't that make you feel old? Wait, does Kate Winslet show her naked breast in Titanic?
She shows,
Yeah.
And
then he's painting her like one of her
does she have a merkin on? Or does she...
And it's James Cameron's hand. No, she's like fully topless. Like laying across the thing.
But she doesn't show her below the belt merkin area.
No.
She doesn't show
the camera cuts
off. I didn't know that.
She never shows the
that makes me feel really old that the first breasts you saw were in Titanic. Speaking of which, Donald and I are on Millionaire tonight. Now, God knows when this is going to air.
The promo looks so good.
Did you?
This isn't gonna air tonight, so we can't really say. We will have been.
We got as far as we could.
I'm proud of you guys for getting.
Okay. Did anything cross the alligator line from your last live game show appearance?
No. We literally got some.
If I had only watched this fucking show, I was so close,
and I didn't. Look, this is how I knew we were in trouble.
David Beckham documentary.
This is how I knew we were in trouble. He brings up. He goes. The name of it stars. David, the soccer player, and Zach and I both go. Who the fuck is David? Like, yo,
no.
That's when I knew. I was like, oh my God,
I started that fucking documentary, and if I had only finished it, I could have got us one more level.
Oh my gosh,
and it was about,
man.
I guess I learned through doing Millionaire, she does a dance that in the documentary for David, Posh Spice, and Victoria Beckham, and then that became a TikTok trend. And the question is, what was the song? Do you guys know the song?
No.
Yeah, because none of y'all watched that bullshit either.
I
That's
watched
the
it.
thing. Did you?
Bullshit.
Did you?
Hell
Do
yeah,
you
it was so
remember
good.
this
I loved
moment?
it.
She does some dance
Really?
for him.
Vaguely. No, yeah, I do, but I don't.
All right. Well, you
remember what
may
the
have
song
gotten
was.
it
I
if you
would've
had
been
4
out on that
choices,
too. And I watched
you.
it.
But Donald
Maybe,
and I had
maybe.
not seen it, and so we were at a loss. No, wait, and I think we polled the audience, Donald, and they.
No, but this is what you made a mistake. You said, I think it's Island.
The island in the stream,
whatever the shit
whatever.
is.
Yeah.
You said, I think it's that, which automatically gives them, and they told us this backstage, your best bet is to not say which one you think it is right before you hand it off to the audience, because you automatically influence the
Well, we
audience.
polled the audience because.
And you did that, and I said, "Oh,
but Jimmy
Zach,
actually
no.
Jimmy said, I think this is a good one to poll the audience because the doc at the time we shot had been very, very popular, and I agreed with Jimmy because."
And none of them saw that shit
the
either.
poll ended up being like the highest number on the poll was 30%, and the next one was like 28%. So we went with the 30%, and it was wrong.
And the 28% was wrong
Damn.
too,
It was?
though.
Oh,
Yeah, the 28%
shit.
was wrong too. The 28% was the one that we were
They just
trying to
didn't
go,
know.
that we were going back and forth with, saying, "I think it's this one." No,
But by the way, we were on a tear for a second. We were on a tear, and it was such a high.
You were on a tear, bro. You were
I was
crushing.
on a tear.
I was in the lights like this. Fucking, we all millionaire. Shit. Oh shit. We all millionaire.
I knew there was going to be a moment from watching Millionaire, just regular Millionaire, that there's a moment where they just go, "You're not getting our money. We're going into the next level. Like, fuck you. It's going to be so hard." I knew we were going to reach that spot, but to be taken out by not knowing a song from a Beckham documentary, that bummed me out.
But well, come on, bro.
That's how it goes.
That's
There's
what
always
it is,
something.
man. That's like people saying there's a legit amount of people that have never seen Star Wars now, and it's acceptable. It's acceptable. It ain't like the 1980s anymore. If it was 1980 and you said 84 and you said I'd never seen Star Wars, I think everybody'd be like, "You're out of your fucking mind, bro. What?"
Yeah.
But it's 2024.
I've been listening to a
There's
book
kids
that you
weren't
got.
even
I have to
born.
recommend. I think I've said this in the podcast again. Everyone, you can obviously read this book, but I'm really enjoying listening to it because the guy who reads it's amazing. It's called Easy Riders, Raging Bulls. And it's all about the filmmakers that came out of the late 60s and 70s, including Donald's hero, George Lucas. And there's fascinating stories about after he made THX and it wasn't a hit, he was so pissed off. He wanted to make sort of avant-garde art, science movies like that. And they were like, "Come on, man, you got to make something commercial." And he's like, "Oh,
Well, this is Coppola and them that
yes,
said that
everyone
to him.
said it to him."
You got to his best friends were Spielberg,
Right.
Coppola,
And everyone was like,
Scorsese.
"Dude, you're making movies that are too avant-garde. There's going to be no audience for them. You got to make something commercial." And he's like, "It's so easy to make a commercial movie." He's like, I can make a commercial movie in a second." And then he finally goes, "All right, I'll show you." And he makes American Graffiti. And it's an enormously popular movie, and he sort of proved to everyone. And so then when he finally made Star Wars, he figured out like, "Oh, let me blend those two skill sets, making something commercial, but also in the sci-fi world." Like, anyway, I think you'd love the Star Wars parts of the book, Donald.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I love everything about George Lucas. I love his imagination. If it wasn't for George Lucas's imagination, a lot of us that are my age wouldn't have heroes like who we just had on the podcast, Billy D. Williams. Things like that wouldn't exist because there were. I don't even think in Star Trek there were black people. At the time.
Yes, there was
Uhura. Uhura was in Star Trek.
That's it. That's right. I take that back.
I want you to leave it and prove that you're wrong.
No.
We should also say that Bad Monkey's out. I don't know when this is going to air, but Bad Monkey's out, and it's
definitely out by now.
October. It's been way out.
Great reviews. I'm happy for Bill.
Dude.
It's crushing it on the Rotten Tomatoes, which you never know which way that's going to go, but Bill's killing it again. Thunderous applause for our friend Bill Lawrence.
Thunderous applause.
Check it out. You're going to really like it. Yeah.
I hear that you're
I'm
in it.
in it. I'm in it for like a handful of episodes. I can't really say much about my character because everything involving my character is a spoiler. But come check it out, everybody. Bad Monkey on Apple TV. We should probably let Heather Graham, the legendary actress, in. Is she here?
Oh, hell yeah.
Let that beauty in.
But before we do that, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Stories about a show we made about a bunch of docs and nurses and a janitor who loved to hate. I said, here's the stories that you all should know. So gather round to hear our Scrubs Rewatch show with Zach and Donald. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, get out of my
dreams.
Get in my backseat, baby.
And into my car.
Get in my backseat, baby.
Heather has an incredible career that we could spend 5 hours talking about, but it all began with the two Corys.
Well, it began before that, I'm sure, but first.
When she began changing
you guys, I
lives.
love your singing. This was so good.
You began changing lives, Heather, when you showed up with the two Corys.
And licensed to drive their first movie together.
Was that their first movie together?
I'm pretty sure.
No, they had done Lost Boys. I think they did Lost Boys.
No, they were older and Lost.
Was that
you're
after?
right. You know what they were?
You might be right.
I don't know.
Donald knows his Corey's trivia.
Donald, you really...
I do love me some Corey's.
Should I look it up?
No, Joelle, look it up. That's why our beautiful producer will handle this.
Okay.
Heather, it's so great to have you on the podcast. We love you so much.
You guys are so fun. I feel all your positive energy the minute you started singing to me. I mean, this was amazing.
Well, you're the perfect guest because not only were you a part of Scrubs, but you have such an amazing career where you've done so many different things. And of course,
wait, can I tell you guys, recently I've been having a lot of Scrubs fans come up to me. All right, I went to Italy, and this girl was like, I love Scrubs, and I've had all these different Scrubs people coming up to me. So Scrubs has made a big impact. I mean, a lot of people.
So good on the show.
You were really funny on the show.
This was originally a rewatch podcast, so we got to rewatch every episode.
And then you guys got too popular. Do you guys just miss each other, so you want to just hang out all the time?
Yes, that's basically the point of this, Heather. It began as a rewatch podcast, but then we ran out of Scrubs episodes. So then it was like, well, Donald is so flaky that if I don't schedule a time to see him once a week, I'll never see him.
And so we hired iHeart.
So we hired iHeart to allow us to see each other once a week. And then we invite fun people that we love onto the show and we shoot the shit with them for an hour or so.
Love it.
But people like to know Genesis stories, Heather. So we want to just go through some of the beginning parts. Was it Licensed to Drive your first big part?
What was your first? How did
movie.
It start? Okay, let's go.
All right, I auditioned. I was in high school. I auditioned, and of course, I was a fan of the Corys, and it blew my mind that I got to work with the Corys.
Yeah.
And I got to drive onto the 20th Century Fox lot. I mean, I'm sure you guys can relate. Like that first time you got your first big job and you drive to work and you have a pass and you drive on and you're like, they hired me. This is so crazy.
You can't believe it.
What were you doing before that? Were you
Well, I did a few commercials. No, I did a few commercials. I did a hair commercial. Then I did a Disney Sunday night movie that actually O.J. Simpson was in.
Holy cow.
What was the plot of that one?
Heather Graham and the Juice.
What was the plot of that one?
It was called Foreign Exchange, and it was about these two nerdy kids at school. They're so nerdy, and they pretend to be foreign exchange students so they could, be cooler and get dates. And the other person that was in it was, that really successful director. His name is Todd Field. Do you know him? He did In the Bedroom or
yeah.
Todd, he was also acted in it.
Yeah, it's Todd Fields, right, Joelle?
Am I saying his name wrong?
Or Wait, Todd Phillips.
No,
it's not Todd Phillips.
Because you worked with him.
No.
Joelle will know.
Yeah.
In The Hangover. We're going to get to that, too.
She's worked with a lot of good directors.
No, Todd Field.
Okay,
he became a very successful director, just like Zach Braff.
Right. So, I don't know about that. What were the Corys like? I mean, you were with them during their Corey heyday. Were they nice men, young boys?
I mean, I think, look, they were a lot more worldly than me. I basically was going to high school parties. They were, I think, probably doing drugs. Corey Haim was dating Lala Zappa, who's so glamorous. Her dad is this rock star. And I just felt super nerdy compared to them.
Right. And how old were you at that? How old were you? Do you remember?
I was 17. 17.
And you had beautiful curls, I remember.
It was the 80s, so I really did I have a perm?
Was that a perm?
Or did I? I did have a perm at one point, but I really curled that hair like a lot. Like it was very curly.
I'll never forget.
That must have been flattering. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll never forget seeing that poster for the first time with Corey Haim holding the keys and freaking Feldman on the other side. And then the freaking, your car. It's not even his car that's in the commercial. I mean, in the poster. It's your car that you drive up in at the end of the movie with, and you in your poofy dress. I'll never forget my first time seeing that and being like, I'm going to see that movie. That's
we were
I
had high heels with socks on in that poster. Because who doesn't want to wear socks with their high heels? You know,
Donald and I were definitely the target demo. We were the target demo for so many movies you've been in.
I feel like we've grown up together.
Right.
In this industry.
With you being
you
a
guys
sex,
are cute.
No, you've been a sex symbol your whole career, and whenever you were being a sex symbol, the marketing department was aiming straight at Donald and me.
They had laser beams focused.
All right, so then you get a total opposite from a commercial movie. You get like this indie mega hit, Gus Van Sant Drugstore Cowboy. How did how did that come about? That's like a indie classic.
Well, just auditioning, I auditioned for it, and you know how it goes with auditioning. It's terrifying. You never know if anyone will ever call you back, but I got it. And so that kind of introduced me to the arty world of cool independent movies.
Right. Mm. Yeah, but it's interesting that right off the bat, you did two super polar opposites. You did like the ultimate commercial movie, and it's a hit, and then you go do like a little indie darling, and it's a hit. Like you must have been feeling yourself.
No, it was it was not, because I mean, also look, it helped me make money and become independent. I was like a little teenage girl, and suddenly I could just, pay for my life. It was an amazing moment.
Then you get a really big Calvin Klein ad directed by David Lynch.
Wow, you really did a lot of research, Zach.
Joelle is the shizzy.
Well,
Joelle is the
shizzy. It's really Joelle.
Well, Joelle's a producer, and she does research as a good producer does. But a lot of this I knew. I didn't. I
all of these things we remember. All of these things are
everything. I knew those two ones, but the Benicio del Toro commercial I had to go watch on YouTube.
Isn't that funny? Oh, you watched it? Is it on YouTube? Oh my god!
Of course, the audience, if you're listening, go watch the YouTube commercial. It's very sexy.
It's not a YouTube commercial. Watch it on YouTube.
Watch the Calvin Klein commercial, directed by David Lynch, starring Benicio del Toro and Heather Graham. It's very sexy.
And I think this was before Benicio ever actually did anything.
Maybe he was just he looked like a model. I don't know if he was a known actor yet.
Was this probably before Mark Wahlberg? Or after?
Yeah. This was way before. This was probably like 1991 or something like that. When did Mark Wahlberg start?
He's around that time too. 92.
His underwear
93.
ads.
Same thing.
You have a good memory, Donald, of these.
Well, I just remember my age, how old I was. Well,
all right.
And you remember Mark Wahlberg's underwear commercials? That was
those were very impactful.
It was in Times Square. I grew up in Times Square.
It really was. It really was.
He looked great. He had abs, and
he had real abs. That was, and I remember every girl in New York was like, "Ah!" And I was like, "Shit, I need to get abs like that." I've never been able to catch Mark Wahlberg though. You know what I mean? Never.
Then when I read an article about him, it said he gets up at like 3:30 in the morning to work out.
He gets up at like 3:30 in the morning to work out.
He doesn't fuck around. You guys work together.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that. Don't rush. Don't rush.
Let's slow down.
Are you guys going to sing more songs, though? I'm hoping there's like a little more songs from you.
When we go to commercial break, we'll do it.
Yeah,
the audience can't hear.
Wait, Heather, I want to talk. Donald and I, one of our favorite movies, and I just got to work with him for the first time, but one of our favorite movies is Swingers.
Aww.
And you were also in that. Again, being the object of every male's dreams.
Well,
right, Donald?
Thank you. You're flattered. I feel I'm getting very flattered, and thank you.
I'm just being honest.
I don't know, Heather. You laugh, but this is. I mean, there's a reason. You know, it's not just you're beautiful, but your talent is.
Yeah, you're obviously
a
very good
amazing.
actors, and you're very funny.
Let's not get it
guys,
twisted.
It's so nice talking to you. Thank you.
Tell us about Swingers because we love that movie.
I'm feeling all warm inside from this conversation.
That's what we do here.
Good. That's what we try to do.
Billy D. Williams felt the same way.
I love it.
Yeah.
What do you tell us about the making of Swingers?
Well, basically, I worked with Jon Favreau on this Showtime, like, short little movie. And he said, I'm going to do this movie. And basically, they only had $250,000 to make this movie. Can you imagine that?
I mean,
no.
It's insane.
How good it is.
And
they made it for nothing.
They made it for nothing. And we were shooting in locations like a bar where just normal people are there for the night. They didn't shut it down and put extras in there.
Too.
It was
with film, too.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, I don't know how they made it for that amount of money. And they like we were shooting the Derby and everyone was just there. They were just there out and the camera just kind of was hidden and nobody really noticed it. So we just shot with an open restaurant, open bar. People were just out for the night.
Right.
That's amazing.
That's great. And I don't know. Donald and I were the perfect target demo for that movie. And I know, Donald, you were probably living that life already, I imagine,
I had
right?
just moved to LA. I'll never forget. I will never forget.
I had the club. I remember that. I put the club on my car.
I had just moved to LA from New York and I was doing Clueless, the television show, and Breckin Meyer was guest starring on it. And some other dude was guest starring on it also. And they were talking about Swingers. And I remember being like, what the fuck is Swingers? And they were like, yo, it's this movie. It stars this guy, Vince Vaughn. Like, Breckin was real good with names. Him and Seth Green are best friends. But he's real good with names. And so he was like, it stars Vince Vaughn and this dude, Jon Favreau. And you should see it. It's about, living life in LA. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So the shit comes out on VHS and I get it and I watch it and holy fuck. Like it blew my mind. I was literally living that life at the time.
Yeah, there were so
many
inside
I wasn't going to the Derby.
Jokes.
I wasn't going to the Dresden and all of that shit. But I was doing something very similar to that, where it was Jerry's Deli or, you know what I mean?
It's like young guys in Hollywood trying to be cool and
trying to bag babes, trying to
all trying to be actors too. I mean,
right,
that was
and all being
actors.
Well, not even just actors. Some stand-up, some directors. You could see all of their paths. You know what I mean, and which way they wanted to go. It was I was like, holy fuck! Like Fav and Vince both spoke to me. Like even the dude who played Sue, like all of these motherfuckers, they spoke to me. Yeah. Like I was like, I'm this. The whole beef with the guy and pulling the gun, and now one of us is gonna die. That shit, shit like that happened. You know what I mean?
That shit could happen.
It was not that shit could happen. Shit like that happened, and it was like, wow, this is my life, but just white dudes are living it.
Yeah. Well, they had the black friend. There was a black friend in the group.
Yeah, but he was, Alex. He was an eclectic black dude. You know what I mean? He was the one black dude that hung out with all the white people. You know what I mean? Which was kind of like my life too. But hey. All
right, so that's 96. Then your life changes because you get one of the biggest parts, I imagine, of your career because everybody knows Boogie Nights, and you were infamously Roller Girl. That movie was just incredible, and I don't know. Was it fun to make? Was it?
Well, the cast alone.
What was your experience?
I mean,
working with those
that was a great
actors?
moment. It was a great moment where you're auditioning, you want people to hire you, nothing's really happening, and then suddenly, and doing Swingers. I didn't think anything was going to come out of that because I'm just like, okay, this movie has no studio attached, $250,000 budget. But getting cast in that movie, it was a very exciting time. And I love the script. And Paul is so passionate. And it was really cool. Just creatively, it felt really, exciting. And
Did
fun.
you know you were going to have to work like that? Like you came to work. Like you literally put your hard hat on. You brought the lunchbox in and you went to
I was like going from, I had done a few jobs, but I was like, oh my God, I want a career. So I really wanted this, I wanted to do good work and hopefully get more work.
Did you know how to roller skate?
No, I had to have a coach. And
how about all the nudity what you had to do? Was that because there's regular? Sometimes
honestly, it was scary. Like at that point, I had never done any. In fact, I think I had been offered a few things that I turned down because of like the nudity, and then I was just thinking, well, maybe I should just do it, And so that was the first time I ever did it, and I was slightly terrified, but I knew it was special. But I remember I actually went on like Adam Carolla had a show, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're doing a movie about the porn industry. Oh my God." Like he was making fun of it and acting like that's, so exploitive or whatever. But at that time, it wasn't cool to make movies about that kind of subject matter, which now I feel like it's much more normal. But at that time, people were like, whoa.
Well, he did such a good job. And it wasn't just about the porn industry. He did such a good job. It was about so much more than the porn industry.
It was way more. It was more.
No, it was good. He just did a good job, and it was good. But it was terrifying to be naked, for sure.
Yeah, because there's nudity in sex scenes where you're like, people are used to that. Okay, we might see a little bit of your breast or your butt or whatever. You had to be like roller girling around, and I'm sure maybe you get used to it. I don't know. At a certain point, you're just like.
What about you? Have you guys done nudity? What?
I get nervous when I have to do that. I've done a few sex scenes.
Well, I haven't. Men don't often show their penises. That's the rare actor who shows their.
I hope one day you guys do.
Adam Devine shows his in.
Well, and Jason Segel in what's it called, Donald? Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
She shows it.
And
see, I feel like you have to.
I think you guys need to do more nudity.
I wouldn't. I'd be too nervous because we men, Heather. I don't want to. No spoilers, but
we judge.
We change sizes depending on temperature.
No, we judge. That's all. All we do
is
we judge.
What about your butts? You could just do some butt nudity or something.
I've shown my butt on Scrubs.
Donald showed his butt on Scrubs, I think. I would show butt. In a lot of sex scenes you see these days when like they're doing like a hardcore sex scene, the men all show their butt. Their butt's like rising up in the air. Like they're very free with their butt. But penis is tough to show.
Well, no, they showed it in that movie. What was it called? Shame or something with Fassbender. There are some movies where they're showing.
They showed
just
it in
that
Deadpool.
recent one. They showed
they did?
penis in Deadpool.
In the first Deadpool, they showed dick.
In Saltburn, they showed penis.
Right, when he's burning and he blows up the room and he's in the tank butt naked, he jumps over and there's ball and shaft hanging.
But that might not be really his. That might not be really
It doesn't matter. They show it.
I appreciate that it's not just women. But no, you're right. Saltburn is probably the most graphic example of that.
And I believe in Boogie Nights, Mark Wahlberg wears a prosthetic because...
Oh, yeah, he's wearing a prosthetic for sure. And I think when the movie was over, he kept it or something because, why wouldn't he want to keep that?
I would.
Oh, which, by the way, I just want to do a little brag that I kept my roller skates and then I just bought a new house and I was like, oh, should I keep these? And I was thinking, should I just give them away? And then my manager called the Accademy Museum and they put them in the Academy. They're going to put them in the Academy Museum.
So cool.
Isn't that cute? I know.
Really cool. Thunderous applause. That's very cool.
I know.
And very cool.
All right, listen. Another movie that Donald and I both really, really love is Bowfinger.
Oh, I do feel proud of that movie. I got to work with Steve Martin, Eddie Murphy. That's like a kind of a dream.
But you also showed how funny you could be. Also,
you were
funny.
You
also showed how.
What was
Heather,
Eddie
come
like?
on, keep
Tell
it
us,
100.
Eddie. We're big.
We're big Eddie Murphy fans. So you got to.
So
of course. How could you not be?
Hold on. I'm a huge Steve Martin fan too. I grew up on Eddie Murphy. As I've gotten older, Steve Martin has become my taste in comedy as well. But Eddie Murphy is like, I based my life on it when I was a youth.
Was he like I'm wondering, like your inspiration and stuff?
I recited Raw. I recited Delirious.
Yeah.
I recited Saturday Night Live, Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Like that was my, like,
both of us.
Yeah, that's all I did was that.
He's brilliant.
Trading places, boom, bully, boom, bully, boom, bully. Like even the jokes
and we had a videotape in my house that was Eddie Murphy's Saturday Night Live greatest
Best
hits.
of Saturday Night, yes, Best of Saturday Night Live.
And then we just watched that shit on repeat.
They put another one out, and the things that were on the original one aren't on the one that they put out, the new one that they put out.
Oh, really?
The original one had hot tub, all of that shit. Go get in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so Heather, we talked too much. Tell us about Eddie. Was he fun to work with? Was it intimidating?
He was, he was very fun. He was very nice. He's brilliant, right? You're just like, you watch him in the movie and he's just kind of a genius, right? He has like a stand-in who looks exactly like him. And he will sometimes do the scenes with you. Like if you don't see his face, like his stand-in will act with you, who's really was a cool, nice guy. But I don't know. He is genius, right? Like you're just
you're saying the off-camera. So you're saying some of the times that he's even not fully off camera on his back, he's not doing the performance.
Sometimes, yes.
Wow. Okay. Have you ever worked with anybody like that before?
No, but I don't know if you're just such a big star. Look, his performance is so brilliant. And the guy that was doing it, he was actually really talented too. But no, I've never done work with anyone other than kids. No, kids, little kids, where they're like, "Oh, you have to leave." But
yeah. But I've never worked on. I've never done scenes with another actor being the actor. Have you, Donald?
No. You know what? I'm going to say something. When I did Kick-Ass 2, I remember them saying Jim Carrey is notorious for doing that. And he showed up on set and Jim was there for every offstage, you know what I mean? He was very generous actually with his time. But I remember them saying, now don't be surprised. He's notorious for this. He's not going to give you off camera. And he gave off camera the whole time. And it was like,
it might have been a phase he was going through, but like, I didn't care. I was just like, this is amazing. Like I get to hang out and talk to him. And like Steve Martin would like eat lunch with us, because a lot of times people just go eat lunch by themselves. Right. Like Steve Martin would just sit and eat lunch with all the actors, chat with us. And, I don't know. It was so special, and just thinking I'm standing here talking to Eddie Murphy. Like it felt like a dream,
The best was when he goes, "You're doing a great job. You're gonna get it. You're doing great. You're doing a great job." All right. Then you get, let's see, that fucking another. Oh, sorry, we can't skip over the Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Jesus, Heather, you've had some fucking hits. That was a big ass movie. Wait, was that the first one or the second one?
It was the second one. The first one's Elizabeth Hurley.
Right. You were the love interest in the second one.
And then the third was Beyonce.
Exactly.
Felicity Shagmore.
Now he improvs a lot, right? Does he make
Shagwell.
up? Does he make up a lot of stuff?
He, on one hand, he prepares. We did a lot of rehearsal, and on the other hand, he'll improv. He's the kind of guy. You guys are like this. Like he likes to entertain the crew. He'll make jokes. He wants everyone laughing. He's very like generous and fun. He's just always trying to make everybody laugh.
Yeah, we Donald and I find that if we get everyone in a silly mood. And Donald does this way more than I do because he has a lot more energy. But we find like
he does.
If we create an environment on set where everyone's in a silly mood, it helps us be silly, So we try and make everybody laugh.
You guys are putting me in a silly mood right now. I'm like, oh my God, let's make more Scrubs. Like, let's do it.
Well, Bill Lawrence has been on a press junket lately talking a lot of shit.
He's been talking.
So stand by,
There's a
audience.
Possibility.
Well,
oh, really? What did he say?
He's promoting Bad Monkey now. And of course, every interview that asks him the question says, when are you rebooting Scrubs? And the answer used to be like, oh, it'll be fun one day. And then lately it's, I should have an answer for you in the next 6 months. What he's saying
really?
now.
Everybody's going to be
that's so cool.
everybody's going to be excited about.
Basically what it is if you want to know the thing of it is it's going to happen. Disney owns Scrubs. Bill has a very big deal with Warner Brothers. So those two companies have to come.
No, I was just thinking, I wish I had been in more episodes because it was so fun. And
you're going to come back. If we do it, I want to do
more. So if it comes back, I want to be.
You were very funny as Molly Clark.
No, so I was in Italy, Kay, and I was getting breakfast, and this Italian woman comes up, and she does these hard hands to me, and she's like, Molly, Dr. Molly on Scrubs, and then she like touched her heart, like, thank you. And I'm like, wow, that wasn't like it really affected her, and she was so sweet,
Well, Heather, I don't know if you know this. The fans of this podcast will know that because they've heard me say this 1,000 times. But I don't know if you know this, but the big episode that was your last, which is the one where we ended up on the Universal lot and I rappel across the street and I.
Oh, right, because you directed that one.
That was the first Scrubs episode I ever directed.
Wow.
And,
I was there.
Yeah,
for
I
your
know.
De-virginization of directing Scrubs.
Yeah, because I hit the wall, I go to the garbage and I pop back up and I go, Molly.
You're funny.
That was the whole premise of I had a permission slip from Elliot that I was allowed to hook up with you. And and then you open it up and it didn't, she had lied to me. It wasn't a permission slip. But
that's funny.
Anyway. Because Joelle didn't put any reference to Scrubs in this debriefing, Joelle. I don't know why you would have left out the most important aspect, Joelle.
The thing y'all were a part of? I didn't know.
Yes, Joelle, I need some dates.
She's thinking you remember it. Look, you're the producer princess. I like your princess.
Yeah, Joelle is a producer princess.
I like how you're a princess.
She is the best.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? We're going to go to break real quick.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Let's go to break.
We're going to break and we'll be right back with Heather Graham. We're going to ask her about a little movie franchise called The Hangover. We'll be right back. And we're back. What do we want to sing to Heather? She wants us to.
She wants a song and break.
Oh, we could do one of our.
What you trying to get into? A day show.
No, what you trying to do? What you trying to get into? A day show. No, what you trying to do?
Hit it with some Wu-Tang Forever.
Yeah, we have a sound effects machine, Heather.
Are you guys like best friends? Like, what's the story? Your best friend?
Some weeks.
Wu-Tang Forever.
It depends.
What,
Sometimes
Donald's
he's
like a bit hard to get a hold of. You're the one that's kind of like wants to hang out more.
Well, he's got kids and shit, and he's busy, and he doesn't like.
I live my life, Heather, 1 mile at a time.
He doesn't.
I get it.
He doesn't.
So your kids are taking
it's
you away from
It's all
Zach.
about family, Heather. It's all about family.
Heather, he doesn't ever want to do anything with
I
me.
live my life 1 mile at a time.
He's a bit of an agoraphobe, and he kind of hides behind the children to be like, I can't do anything.
It's all about family, Heather.
Yeah.
Now, when you got family.
Yeah, so
Joelle, what am I quoting? Joelle, what am I quoting?
The Godfather?
No, it's that car
Fast
movie.
and the Furious.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Heather, he doesn't really like to leave his home, and thus
why don't you just go over and hang out with him and his family? I mean, problem solved.
Because he don't like kids.
No, I like kids. I like kids. I'd like my own kids.
Oh,
he don't like my bad.
That's cute.
He don't
Yeah,
like
cute
my kids. He don't like other people's kids. He likes his own kids.
Your kids are fine. I mean, your kids are great. They don't seem too interested in Uncle Zach. They come in, they say hi, and then they go off and do their own thing. They're not exactly.
So Zach, are you having kids? What's happening with that? You would be a cute dad.
I don't know. I think I need to freeze my sperm or something. I don't know how long I got on these things.
I keep telling him, just start having oops babies. Just be, shit, my bad.
Yeah, Donald's giving me the worst advice and saying I should have oops babies. And I don't want to have an oops baby.
Like I said, I live my life 1 mile at a time. It's all about family.
Donald's a bad influence because his advice is to have an oops baby.
Oh, what's her name?
I named my baby Oops. This is my darling baby Oops Braff.
An oops baby is still a baby, you know?
No, I know, but Heather, I'd like to
doubt.
fall in love, Heather. I'd like to find love, and I'm single. I'd like to find love and have a baby. Are you in a relationship with someone right now?
I'm dating this guy. His name is John, and we've been dating.
Nobody
for like 2
cares, Heather.
Yeah,
Nobody cares.
Of course we do.
Okay,
Heather and
you asked the question.
I didn't
need
ask
to talk
Zach
about it.
did.
Heather,
I'm just joking.
Heather and I live together. A lot of people wouldn't know that. We live in the same building. We live in the same building. And we're on the same co-op board. And occasionally when we have to do Zoom co-op board meetings, they're very long and grueling. And I text Heather funny messages to see if I can make her laugh in the Zoom window.
You do.
It's the only thing that makes a co-op board meeting fun is playing the game, Can I Make Heather Graham Laugh?
Oh my God, the co-op board. What a crazy, oh my God.
Oh, it's insane.
Yikes.
But we probably shouldn't shit talk our co-op.
Yeah, I was about to say,
no, we shouldn't. We love our co-op.
No, we love our co-op. And I can't highly recommend getting getting on your co-op board. It is amazing. If you want to argue that you should maybe paint the lobby for 3 years, it's really a lot of fun. All right, talk about The Hangover. Another fucking banger, Heather Graham.
Well, listen, Heather Graham, I am sensing a trend.
What
right
is the
now.
trend? What is
the trend of hitting movie after hitting movie after hitting movie after hitting movie.
Oh my God.
I want to ask you, but wait, before we get to The Hangover.
Fucking let her answer my question.
Because I don't want it to just be about The Hangover. I wanted to elaborate a little bit.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Are you feeling the ride right now? What does it feel like going into The Hangover? You've got a string of hits behind you, and now you're going into this. I'm going to be honest, when I read The Hangover, like a lot of us did, it seemed like it was a mess. What happened that all of a sudden you were like, I'm doing this movie? I
actually had to audition for The Hangover. It wasn't
Get the fuck out of here. No, You've auditioned for all of these movies.
Not all. I did not audition for Austin Powers. They offered it. I got offered Bowfinger. I auditioned for License to Drive, Boogie Nights. I auditioned for Hangover. And I think they had offered it to someone more famous who I guess turned it down. And then I got it, which was so exciting. And at that time, whatever, Zach and Bradley, they were not, as famous as they are today.
Right. Well, that movie really jump-started Bradley's whole career.
It jump-started everybody's career.
No, I'm saying, yeah, of course. But Bradley's become...
Yeah, Ken Jeong. I mean, he was a doctor, before that.
Zach Galifianakis in that movie is one of the funniest fucking things ever with his beeper, his pager. I have to be honest. I haven't. I have to confess. I haven't seen the sequels, but
What?
But
number one is the best because whatever. I'm not into, and 3 I have a small part, but I like number 1 the best.
All right. In 2001, Donald and I did not make this list, but you were named one of the 50 most beautiful people. Donald, I tried out for this. I read twice. I did not get it.
I think you were 51.
Oh, come on, Zach. You've gotten your share of like girls having crushes on you, I'm sure. Okay.
Heather, I was number 51 and a half, as Donald said. Yes. And
young starlets, hot, that date you and fall in love with you because you're so cool.
Okay, Heather, this could be its own separate conversation during the co-op board meeting. We don't need to.
Okay, no, I'm just saying it's not like no girls think you're hot. Okay, you guys are both like hot, studly dudes.
I'm
right?
married.
About Donald.
I'm so married.
Don't make it about Donald.
I'm just saying you're studly guy. Okay, I'm talking about you, Zach.
Thank you.
You are definitely a heartthrob for a lot of girls.
Take it.
Right?
Take it. Take it.
Daniel, I'm going to need that.
I've been telling them from one of your movies, dude, you're so money and you don't even know it. I've been telling them this forever.
Daniel, I'm going to need Heather saying I'm a heartthrob for my soundboard.
No, but come on. You know it. You know it, Zach.
Yeah, I need that one too. Daniel, for the soundboard. All right, now you're segueing into this new chapter of your career, writing and directing. You've just made your second movie. Donald and I both watched it. I was lucky enough to read it. It's great, and it's called Chosen Family. Everybody, and
first
how
of all,
did you
write? You wrote, directed, and started.
And you started it.
You guys, thanks for watching it.
And you produced it.
We're very good hosts. We're very good hosts.
You wrote, directed, starred, and produced it. That's doing a lot. That's a lot of work.
What was it like? What inspired the story? It's about a woman who's looking for love and ends up dating a guy with a very problematic child who hates her. Is any of this based on a real life experience, or was this totally fiction?
Real life always inspires, but I did, make it up. I wanted to tell a story. I realized at a certain point in my life that I was a people pleaser, right? And in my journey of how to stop being a people pleaser. And I did think it's interesting when you date someone that has a kid, and just that dynamic of being like the kind of awkward step parent. Yeah. And just the idea of like how your friends can sometimes be your family more than your family.
Yes, that's true for me because I don't have kids. And so I feel like and we were joking about that with Donald.
So are you going to have kids, Zach? What's happening with that?
I'd like to. I haven't I haven't found my life partner yet.
Right.
And I'd like to, but if it happens, I'd love to. Otherwise,
I know you seem like you'd be a cute dad.
I think I'd be a
but
fun dad.
But I don't have kids either. So I can relate. I don't have.
Yeah, but I don't
either.
know that it's going to happen at this point. You know,
That's true.
Maybe I fall in love with someone who has kids, and I'm a great stepdad. I don't know. I'm 49, so I don't know if but who knows? You know, it could still happen. You know,
49 is the new 39.
I like that, Heather. I like that. I mean, but you're not going to have kids, right? You don't want to do it.
I mean, it's not my plan. I don't know. I like never say never, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess I could get a surrogate, or I don't know.
You could have a surrogate, or you could adopt, or you could.
Yeah.
We could just have a baby that we kind of raise together in the building.
Should we have one, Zach?
Yeah.
We'll have a baby.
Oh my gosh! Here I go. Here comes the oops babies.
This is a good exclusive, everybody.
Oops, babies.
Daniel, I'm going to need that for this.
Hey, Zach, I'm surprised you never had an oops baby. You know, like Mr. Cool Guy in Hollywood, you never had an oops baby.
Well, I'm glad I didn't have an oops baby. Unlike Donald, I don't want an oops baby. Really,
that's why you have so much money, because you never had an oops baby.
Oh my God. All right. Well, well,
it's fucked up.
I will say that oops babies are expensive.
They
as
are
Donald
very
can tell you.
They're very
As
expensive.
Donald can tell you.
They cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But look, the relationship for that moment in time never lasts.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea of you and I having a co-op baby, and we just
Yeah, we
share
should have
it.
a baby in a co-op, one upstairs, one downstairs. Why not?
Yeah. I used to joke with Heather that if we fell in love, we would have a really sick duplex. So the oops baby would live well. All right. So wait, when does this movie come out?
Let's talk about the movie a little bit more.
Yeah, when can
Yes,
and
it comes out,
Julia
thank
Stiles is in it. Heather directs, she stars, she writes. The young girl was very funny. I mean, I hated her. You're supposed to hate her.
You're supposed to hate her, though.
And Thomas Lennon, Andrea Savage.
At one point, I wanted
to
tell a dude, "Yo, grow a pair, man, and tell this little girl to stop."
I was invested in the movie because
I
I
know.
wanted to. I was so mad at the kid, and I wanted to tell the boyfriend to be like, "What the fuck is going on with you not being able to control your child?" I got invested.
I know. I feel like in those situations, it's hard because you want the parent, and then you as the other person, you're like, do I do something? Do I say something? I'm not their parent. Yeah, the modern dating.
I don't know if I could take it. Like, it's got to be like, and I get it. I love love and all of that stuff, but
it is tricky. I have dated women with children before, and even also I would say my friends' kids, not Donald's, but other people's kids, and I see them sort of disrespect my girlfriend or the friend, and my instinct is to want to be like, hey, don't talk like that, or hey, well, that's.
Yeah.
But you don't know what to do because, like, is it my place? It's not my place to but. You know what I mean? Like, so that's sort of.
I think that I've learned, like, through being in different situations like that, that I decided I am gonna say something, but in like a gentle way. But hey, don't talk like that, because if the parent's not going to do it, I feel like it's to the kid's benefit to get some healthy boundaries.
Yes.
If you can come at them with like a gentle way, it's better to say something. That's what I learned. But
you just got to be tactful, because, like, I remember one time saying something to the child, and the gal looked at me like. And I didn't even say anything. I was just like, hey, don't talk to your mother like that. That's rude. And she looked at me like, wait, what? And I was like, okay, this isn't going to work
I think
out.
it's like an overcorrection from like past generations, like being really harsh on kids. And now everyone's like, oh, we need to be so sweet to kids. But then, like, sometimes you're being too sweet to the kid where the kids just becomes obnoxious,
That coddling shit got to go.
The what shit?
What are you like as a dad, Donald? What do you do?
I'm a coddler. But the thing is, it got to go.
You don't ever lay the hammer down, do you?
No, man, I'm a coddler. Hey, but it gotta go, man.
All over.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. It gotta go. Listen, once you set the boundary, once you set the tone, listen, I'm gonna support you. Even when you're yelling at me, I'm still coming at it. They freaking will walk all over you, man. You gotta set the tone right away. Yo, man, don't do that shit.
Well,
don't do that.
Kids
Don't
are
do that shit.
manipulative. They are
there's
smart.
gonna be problems. We're gonna have you and I have real problems.
How do people see this movie, Heather?
Okay, well, it's going to be in theaters and on demand starting October 11th. And yeah, check it out.
Check it out, everyone. It's really good. Heather, you have a career to be envied. You've done so many different things. Are you going to keep writing and directing? Because it seems like it's something you're very passionate about. I
mean, I would love to. At the moment, I just got this cool job in South Africa. It's this movie called They Will Kill You with Zazie Beetz. And it's a cool, it's like a New Line movie. And I get to do some action scenes. So I'm excited about that.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's very cool. I like Zazie Beetz. She's good.
I know. She's cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, I love me some Zazie Beetz too.
That sounds fun. And how long will you be in South Africa?
I'm going to be there for 2 months, and yeah, I'm excited about it.
Now, is the boyfriend going to go with you? How's that going to work with the long distance of it all?
I mean, he's going to come visit. I mean, I don't think he can just go for the entire time, but I've never been, so I'm excited. I've never been to South Africa. Have you guys been?
No,
I haven't. But you should take the boyfriend on a safari.
Yeah. Or he should take me.
He should take you on a safari because I hear that's nice.
He got it like that. He got it like that. I went to
Kenya. Wait, I went to Kenya and he did take me on a safari last year. It was fun. I'd never been and I'd always wanted to go, but it's cool. Kenya.
I mean, I want to go too.
Have you guys been?
I don't have a No, but Donald, since I don't have a girlfriend, will you take me on safari?
Oh my God, you guys are such a romantic couple.
We would have so
your
much
chemistry is
fun.
so cute.
I will
You're
take
the cutest
Donald,
together.
Donald, do you realize how much fun we would have on safari?
Monkey flu is gone. What?
You wouldn't see. He's agoraphobe. He won't do anything. You would.
Monkey flu is.
You wouldn't go.
You look at the news.
See, he won't go on. He won't leave. He won't leave the valley. He's not going to the safari. All right.
You guys are adorable. You're adorable.
Heather Graham, we love you. Thank you for coming on the show.
All right, I love you.
That was a great, what a great
Doug,
guest.
We had Mercedes Lane on the show, bro.
We had Roller Girl.
Dude, Mercedes Lane was the it factor when I was a youth.
You telling me when you saw Roller Girl, you weren't like Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
That's another side of Donald that doesn't come out often. But freaking Mercedes Lane was the one when I was a kid. That's like freaking John Cryer. That's a freaking iconic character in the freaking zeitgeist of teen movies. She was like the ultimate way out of your league character. Like in some movies, the girl was kind of out, like in Some Kind of Wonderful, because of where she lived. This girl was so fine when I was a kid that Corey Feldman, the fucking cutest motherfucker, Luca, the motherfucking cutest motherfucker on the planet.
Lucas.
I
love
Lucas. Was out of her league. She was out of his league. The cutest dude on the planet she was out of his league. That's how.
All right. Anyway, we love Heather Graham, and that was nice to see her. What a great episode. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Check out Bad Monkey. And what else do we want to say? We love you.
Yeah, we love you guys so much. Joel, Daniel, thank you so much for making this happen for us.
A pleasure as always.
5, 6, 7, 8.